Yo. Okay. Let's just do this.
Poem, Our Nation Stopped Rhyming. And it's about the things that I saw when I was on tour, moving around the country a few months ago, taking place in this country and in this world, probably. And I didn't know where to begin, but I wanted to begin with something special to me, and that is this pair of school shoes. This is my grandson's first pair of school shoes. And these to me not only represent love, but they represent hope. And that's what I wanted to begin this poem with. I wanted to begin it on a note of hope. Our nation stopped rhyming. As I toured this divided, fractured, frightened nation, I saw so much anger and aggravation. I saw so much fear and segregation. I saw compartmentalization, right, on a scale I've never seen, a scale there's never been, a scale without any limitation. I witnessed firsthand the diverse effects, good and bad, because there's both, of large-scale mass immigration, and I came face to face with the cruel damnation of privation and the scourge, the absolute scourge in the 21st century of starvation, being rammed down the throats of and force-fed against the will to huge swathes of the population, almost without regulation, to the point that this aberration has taken hold of and is choking our nation, causing the evaporation of people's aspiration and hope. I saw once thriving, buzzing, busybody town centres and places, now without people or faces, empty, dead, with no life or energy. Just a low down, downbeat, people staring at their feet, scratching and scrounging round, looking for money behind the cushions of the sofas, chairs, and seats. People just rolling over and admitting defeat, surrendered kind of vibration. I walked through inner cities where stagnation and deprivation had sent an invitation to freezing cold homelessness and desperation, and I saw the bones, the laid bare bones of working class culture being picked clean by globalist vultures. And I realized in that moment, for all its brainwashing indoctrination and all its shiny consumer friendly presentation, that globalism was our enemy, the real enemy of you and me. And it's not all that it's made out to be. And down here on earth, it's certainly not heaven sent, but hell bent on my classes and my culture's eradication, as it oversees the continuation of its process of the gentrification of working class homes and working class lands. Our lives are now built on their shifting sands. The chances and opportunities for young people to own their own homes I could count on one hand. As those dark people and forces from above who've shown us no love, from the Battle of the Somme and then on to 9/11, from the lies of Iraq to their hell and back, they couldn't give jack about us, the masses, the ordinary lads and lasses, as they create an impossible situation for a whole new generation who, in the words of the unelected World Economic Forum's own website, will own nothing and be happy. As I moved around this brow-beaten, battered nation, I saw the annihilation of our soul's collective positive anticipation. My heart saw the lean, mean corporate machine's orchestration of a massive shift and transformation to us becoming a spiteful, selfish nation that offers no real legislation to protect the vulnerable and the lowly and those who just want to live or move around slowly from the constant exploitation by those at the top who just never stop faking and taking and making and forsaking us, the masses, the ordinary lads and lasses. Do you want to know what it is? I never thought I'd see a day in this green and pleasant land where the government made moves to get protest banned and where protestation and demonstration by the poor and the not so sure was greeted by cheering, sneering, looking down their noses at, online beration and laughed at by the mighty, rich and strong and those who belong, and met with yet even more creation of hardship for the meek and weak and those who seek mere acceptance and just some crumbs of comfort and appreciation instead of more contempt and misappropriation of our power and our wealth and now our health, which is being taken, stolen by stealth. I saw that unending trials and tribulation and now blatant experimentation means that there's no rest or relaxation or feelings of elation, much less joy or jubilation. just more sadness and badness and madness and heartbroken indignation at the fact that we can all see their normalization of the degradation without deviation of us, the masses, the ordinary lads and lasses, who without cessation or any explanation face more and more discrimination and victimization by a political establishment and beyond. The so-called left, but they're not left, and the piss poor right. But it makes no difference because they're both bought off, paid off globalist shite who offer us no real representation and who between you and me I can see are seriously into masturbation because they spoon feed us their lies and their untruths and their half-truths and no truths at all and talk cheap and small. It's a fucking nightmare and a negative sensation. It's a crime for which the guilty do no time or pay any kind of reparation or undertake any kind of rehabilitation. It's a crime that all the time they neglect us, the masses, the ordinary lads and lasses. They neglect our hope. They neglect our need. They neglect the fact that we bleed in this nation. They neglect our cries and our pleas and our lamentation. They show us no consideration or veneration or kindness, no. They just show us their blindness and turn a blind eye on us too. And this kills me saying this because we are such a proud people in this nation. But it has to be said. They turn a blind eye on us to our pathetic, because that's what it is, pathetic. How did we even get here? They turn a blind eye on us to our pathetic, helpless, because we allowed it, that's why. They turn a blind eye on us to our pathetic, helpless situation. As I toured around this aching, breaking, socially distant nation, I saw the beginning of the end of real live human contact and communication. I saw banks and supermarkets are now filled with rows and rows and rows of those self-service tills, all put there and designed to further kill human connection and consultation. I had my eyes open to the fact that we've been engineered almost not to interact physically with each other, talking to a stranger at a bus stop. Millions of people working from home alone, having screens up in bars and cafes and restaurants 2 years after lockdown's finished, phoning up your mobile phone service provider and getting an automated message that tells you they can understand full sentences now, being advised to wear masks around your family and friends just because you've got a cold, fathers, mothers, sisters, brothers texting each other when they're in different rooms of the same home. And I saw that we live in a country, no, a world, where every nation's flag is being furled, curled up and put away because our governments are told what to do and say. I mean, listen, they always have been for years and years, but now it's openly on display as they take their orders from those dark people and forces from above who simply have no love for us, the masses, the ordinary lads and lasses. They despise us in every form, shape and way. I mean, I'd even go as far to say that nation states and democracy and self-determination are done. They're dead. They've had their day. Because I saw that we lived in a world, no, a nation, where every single denomination of sovereign human being and their relation is under attack. It doesn't matter what you are or who you are, if you're white or you're black, we are all of us, having to endure the effects of modern-day slavery and domination. We're being oppressed and suppressed. And our lives are being compressed. We're being ignored by, and if I was being honest, we're being bored by our paid off, blah, 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 puppet politicians who flirt like whores around the unelected World Economic Forum's cause. Hey, love, just lift up your skirt and drop your drawers. Oh, Sunak, Starmer, Macron, Merkel, Ardern, Trudeau, Biden. Hey, Joe, what's your son in his laptop hiding? Get your pants on your ankles and keep your feet on the floor, then all bend over and boom, take some more. I can't believe that so many people can't see the score. I can't believe that they can't see our so-called leaders, every unpunished, corrupted fornication with every fat cat company and corporation, with global big business, global big tech, big pharma, and now the World Health Organization, because it's there on view. They parade it, they flaunt it round in front of me and you, and all it really serves to do is feed more anger and frustration, for we are the many, not them. They are the few. And yet the few own us all. They stop us standing straight and walking tall. They've got us firmly by the balls when it's they who deserve castration and castigation and all the branding, finger-pointing, cancel culture stigmatisation for all their greed and the stolen profits of the privatisation and the wasteful flouting dissipation and backslapping nomination of further pay rises and bonuses that line their pockets and fill their purses, whilst all our postmen and all our nurses trying to make ends meet, spending all day working on their feet, living on food bank wages below the rate of inflation. Yeah. And while the rest of us struggle to pay for simple stuff like butter, and we stammer and we stutter in disbelief because we can't get no cheap relief as we can't afford to fill up at the fucking petrol station. Our homeless can't get accommodation. Our small businesses are going into liquidation. Our sick can't get medication. Our old can't get an operation. Our children can't get a doctor's appointment for an examination. People living with pain and untreated inflammation day on day. And what? In a once proud nation defiant that stood alone in the name of peace and love against Adolf Hitler's Nazi giant, do we say in this nation? We churn out the same old, nothing to do with me. I can't do anything. Pass the buck. Procrastination. I get it. I really get it. That so many people are frightened. And over the last 3 years, that fear has been heightened. And while people care, they just don't dare stand up or speak out in case they lose the job, or they get attacked online, or they get smeared into silence, so that noose gets tightened. But shall I tell you something? Because I won't lie. Cross my heart and hope to die. I'll tell you straight. I'll state my case. I might speak my mind, but I'm afraid. Because I'm nothing special. I'm just a working men's club comedian that's never really made the grade. And yes, I've had some comedic validation, but I've had more comedic marginalisation. And I'm going under financially because of my comedic cancellation. But still I try. I still try. And do you want to know why I try? Well, I'll tell you why I try. I try because I've got 6 grandchildren and I want to be able to look in the eye. Because I want to give them some hope. So that when they're big people like mummy and daddy, they can afford half a dozen eggs and a fucking bar of soap. That's why. So if, like me, you don't like what you see taking place in this nation, but you're scared of some retaliation from those dark people and forces from above who simply have no love for us, the masses, the ordinary lads and lasses, then just take a breath full and big and try and dig deep. Force yourself to take a peep, because trust me, when you have a look, then like me, on behalf of your children, you'll no longer want to pass the buck because you won't be able to stop yourself from crying when you see so many healthy people for no apparent reason just dropping down dead with heart attacks and strokes and blood clots and atrial fibrillation, when you see so many people suffering and dying, when you see our heatless, lightless, Christmas presentless, TV-less, birthday presentless, lifeless children who can now only dream of a sunny day at the seaside with a lemon ice cream. For them, not even a cheap holiday in Scarborough or a short vacation. No happy memories made or real recreation. All they've got to look forward to is more school holiday hunger and being lined up younger and younger and younger for an untested vaccination that's been proven to kill. It doesn't stop you getting ill. And in the words of those shizers, you know them better as Pfizer, to the European Parliament, it doesn't even stop transmission or contamination. Well. Fucking hell. Just blatant lies and more money-making coercion and fabrication. The bastards they are. All our children, our kids, bairns, sprogs and bin lids have to look forward to these days is more disassociation, hypnotisation, even zombification through spent lives wasted scrolling on a mobile phone and trying to work out ways how to break free from the chains of the student loans before they retire at 68, of course, and being monitored 24/7 by airborne drones. And soon, and this is no exaggeration, being watched to see if they leave the designation of one of their towns or homes 15-minute neighbourhood zones and not being able to move around without scrutinisation. Is this what you want for your children? This is what happened in 1930s Germany. People having to show the papers and the documentation. Only now they're going to have to carry digital identification. And watch the mums and dads' lives be destroyed, not employed by the job's termination. Lives and jobs and all hope lost is now an acceptable cost to pay, apparently, as we're replaced by mechanisation, AI, getting rid of you and I. Our neighbours encouraged to watch and spy. Inside, I die. As automation and Big Brother are about to rule okay. And what do you say, conspiracy theorist? Where's your tinfoil at? I've never seen any of that on the mainstream news. Anyway, enough of all that. What do you think about my false eyelashes and my fake tan, my false veneers on my teeth got them done in Turkey, and my fake Balenciaga shoes? And yeah, I know the government's corruption's as bold as brass, but I don't really care. I mean, they're not that bad. They've just given us a £67 rebate off the electric and gas, and because of that, guess what? My electricity bill now is only £1,655 a quarter. Aye. And I've worked it out. If I go to the leisure centre at night and the time it's just right, I can sit there for hours and keep warm in the sauna with my daughter. Oh, are you calling the sacrificial lamb to the slaughter? Call yourself a comedian? I don't think that's very funny. Anyway, I can't pay my bill because I haven't got any money. And even if I did, it would be still too hard because these days there's no cash, is there? I mean, did you know there are 7 constituencies in this country without a bank? And they won't let you pay with money. You can only use your mobile phone or a card. And I mean, this new digital currency thing that they're bringing in, they say that's the way forward and gone are the days when cash was king. And I mean, I don't really want it because I've heard it's such a controlling thing. But what can I do? I can't do a thing. Well, yes, you can. You can just say no. Stop being so compliant. Use money, fight back and try and win. I mean, I don't know. As around this nation, I went roaming. I heard working class people moaning and groaning about strikes disrupting their comfortable lives as they sat watching Britain's Got Talent on the credit bought sofa from DFS rather than do anything about the fact that we're in a great big mess in this less for more nation. Yes, we've had strike after strike, and you can say what you like. But why can't you see that these people on strike are like you and me? They're just working class people who are fighting for us all, for what we need, what we want to be. They're an absolute inspiration because they're standing up to the bully, those forces of globalization who are desperate for the allocation of full slave labour or even no human labour. So get up off that credit bought sofa and rattle your sabre, because these criminals from above who've shown us no love, from the horror of the Somme to the Hiroshima bomb, need to be fought and beat in every skirmish, battle and altercation. Honest to God, as I travelled around this battle-scarred, wounded nation, and this is no sweeping statement or generalisation, but I was forever having the same conversation with people and strangers about the pitfalls and dangers of the unceasing restrictions and sanitisation of our expression and speech and the words that we teach, preach, each one feeling the same slow burning cremation of our freedom and our hope. I saw ordinary people that had dull lives with no sparkle, unlike those 2 media distractions known as Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. Just unknown people with no fortune or fame to their name, with no platform or fans or adulation, but who use dark racist words like coon or nigger, attract far bigger attention and condemnation than Qatar and their royal family for denying slaves, black people of colour, their liberation. And yet these progressives who try to shame you and me into taking the knee, into taking responsibility for a slavery that happened 300 years ago in our history that had nothing to do with you and me, the same progressives who constantly spout and shout and tout the race cards, said nought about the fact that 6,500 slaves went to their graves in Qatari incarceration, and nor did they even mention thousands more that couldn't get hospitalisation as they built the stadia in which we saw the pundits at the side of the pitch with the paid-for smiles and cheers, but none for them wearing any cheap Turkish veneers, nor were they wearing an armband in solidarity for all of Qatar's illegal gays and queers, no, because that would have harmed their precious careers. One of them, bless him, said he was only there to report, not support, what a money-grabbing fraud whose participation showed him up as being guilty by association and showed him up for being nothing more than a lightweight virtue signalling, but rich fucking imitation. It's funny. Well, it isn't, but do you know what I mean? It's funny that all their morals and principles came second to the money that they took from the now not so beautiful game.
Yeah, guys, I'm guessing that you're going to have to get used to this. This is going to be one of my classics now, just like the Peer Girl. Yeah, the thing is, this one is a bit longer. This one's like 34 minutes, 32 minutes, 34 minutes. Yeah. So yeah, you're just going to have to deal with it.
They should all hang their two-faced, hypocritical, misogynistic, homophobic, racist heads in blood-soaked shame. As I drove around this rip-off, almost £2 a litre for diesel nation, time and again I heard the same concerned narration from anxious people, all agreeing that they couldn't believe what they were seeing with the mind games and the gaslighting assault from those above who'd convinced the ignorant to start screaming and shouting, "You're to blame, it's all your fault," and ridiculing our fixation with and our yearning for and our glorification of an almost now forgotten bygone time when our nation flowed and our nation rhymed and we didn't have the new normal version filled with discord and aversion to the old normal, our normal, the normal, the normal we know and love. Oh Lord, in heaven above, please hear my prayer. And I'm sorry, Lord, because I know I swear, but I'm fucking sick, mate. Because I fucking care. I'm sick of all the exasperation I feel. I'm sick of being kept down at heel. I'm sick of a system that stopped us living, that's take, and never giving. I'm sick of all the denigration. And I'm sick of a nation that's so unforgiving. Now, I know that me writing this probably won't get me a knighthood. It probably won't even get me another gig, but I don't care. Because things have to be said, don't they? So I hope this poem's publication about the things I've seen around this nation will highlight the breakdown and the fermentation of that old normal, our normal, the normal that we want to see returning, but hopes of that at the moment look smashed and burning, because in 2020, when they had us all banging our pots and pans and clapping our hands like nodding donkeys and performing seals at 8 o'clock after our evening meals, we all just stood idly by and watched the implementation of their fourth industrial, almost biblical, never mind revolution, but revelation. And at the same time, this kind of futuristic Hunger Games disfiguration, where the majority now have no choice, and the small and the silent have no voice, where farmers are being stopped from farming the earth, where we're being encouraged to eat bugs and slugs, and now men can give birth and go through the pain of their menstruation. Though I'm a man, and I've never had one, so what did I miss? I mean, sometimes I feel like a woman. Maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm cis. Perhaps I should just identify as an old crusty dinosaur that hasn't a clue, or perhaps somebody's just taking the piss. I mean, I'm just a working class bloke with no axe to grind. I don't care how anybody identifies or what anyone is. You're an adult, be what you want. But in schools, just don't subject my 5-year-old grandchildren to this confused identification. You see, as I moved around, the majority of people I found don't give a flying fuck about the issue of trans. I'm talking about people, not white Ford Transit vans. See, like, we, the masses, the ordinary lads and lasses, are more bothered about feeding our kids and having a job than worrying about a tiny minority's pronouns, or a woman having balls and a knob who just wants to live their life without getting a bigoted smack in the gob or facing any kind of penalisation. In this nation, I heard a story about a scientific investigation where a pig's embryo was injected with human cells. I mean, come on, doesn't that ring any alarms or bells? And then this hybrid was implanted way down deep inside the belly of a female sheep to grow human organs for who knows what. Some scientists' perverse exhilaration, it matters not, because Matt Hancock and Chris Whitty and Dr. Anthony Fauci and Michelle Monet and the CDC and Big Pharma and the World Health Organization all stood there with their hand out saying, give us all your money, just give us what you got, or make us a sizable backhanded donation. I saw that we've now got the capability of growing babies outside the womb, and sad, lonely, depressed people with mental health problems are being offered more doom and gloom by being invited. I mean, fuck me. This is what took place in the 1930s Nazi German nation. It's such a soulless, godless abomination. And yet this violation of Mother Nature, yeah, mother, a woman, the feminine, I've said it with all the nervous expectation of being attacked or abused or trolled online or facing more excommunication, but fuck it. Mother Nature's violation is now being offered as our salvation and as something that's good and wholesome and that should be welcomed by more pan-slapping, happy, clapping, grateful celebration. For fuck's sake, just wake up to the fact that this is all a vile, which is an anagram of evil, unholy act and hallucination, conjured by these demons with all their squeaky clean, beautiful, caring, sharing on the outside, but hideous and grotesque and malevolent and ugly and dark underneath.
Yep. Yeah, it's horrendous. What can I say? I'm losing viewers. I'm losing so many viewers. Where is the one? Oh yeah, the wrath of the awakened Saxon, right? Talk about poetry.
The Wrath of the Awakened Saxon by Rudyard Kipling. It was not part of their blood, it came to them very late, with long arrears to make good, when the Saxon began to hate. They were not easily moved, they were icy, willing to wait, till every count should be proved, ere the Saxon began to hate. Their voices were even and low, their eyes were level and straight. There was neither sign nor show when the Saxon began to hate. It was not preached to the crowd. It was not taught by the state. No man spoke it aloud when the Saxon began to hate. It was not suddenly bred. It will not swiftly abate. Through the chilled years ahead, when time shall count from the date that the Saxon began to hate.
Yes. It's about that time. It's about that date. We're almost here. It will not swiftly abate. Okay, let's watch this one. It's not the Saxon, it's the Scots, right? The Scot.
You are carrying the most
Scots Irish. I don't. I think I'm partly Scotch. I think one of my grandmothers, great-great-grandmothers, was Scotch.
If you're Scots-Irish, you are carrying the most dangerous bloodline in American history. They weren't Scottish, they weren't Irish. They were lowland Scots sent to Northern Ireland to colonize it, and they spent 100 years fighting the Irish, the English, and each other. When nobody could control them anymore, the Crown put them on boats and made them America's problem. They arrived angry, battle-hardened, completely ungovernable. They didn't stay on the coast like everyone else. They pushed straight into the frontier. Appalachia, the Carolinas, Tennessee, Kentucky. Land nobody else wanted because it was too dangerous. They didn't care. Danger was home. Andrew Jackson, Scots-Irish. Davy Crockett, Scots-Irish. Ulysses Grant, Scots-Irish. The men who shaped this country with blood and stubbornness all came from the same line. They brought moonshine, blood feuds, a distrust of authority so deep it became an American value. That "don't tread on me" attitude isn't un-American. It's Scots-Irish. The British sent them to Ireland to cause problems. Ireland sent them to America to be rid of them. America handed them a frontier and got out of the way. If you're Scots-Irish, you are carrying the most dangerous bloodline in American history. They weren't Scottish, they weren't Irish. They were lowland Scots sent to Northern Ireland to colonize it, and they spent 100 years fighting the Irish, the English, and each other. When nobody could control them anymore, the Crown put them on boats and made them America's problem. They arrived angry, battle-hardened, completely ungovernable. They didn't stay on the coast like everyone else. They pushed straight into the frontier. Appalachia, the Carolinas, Tennessee, Kentucky. Land nobody else wanted because it was too dangerous. They didn't care. Danger was home. Andrew Jackson, Scots-Irish. Davy Crockett, Scots-Irish. Ulysses Grant, Scots-Irish. The men who shaped this country with blood and stubbornness all came from the same line.
Yay. So to anybody who's still listening, yeah, what's going on, man? Scots-Irish. Let's do this white appreciation thing, right? Oh. It feels like the tone, like there's no there's no geen aansluiting op dit nummer, no connection to this number, right? Remember that? Remember that when they say, oh, there's no connection to this number. You're too drunk to get a link.
Through some old RTE footage the other day, and I came across a 6-1 News report from July 2016, which was as funny as it was educational. It was a proper scorcher of a day, 30 degrees Celsius at Mount Dillon in Roscommon and 25 in the Phoenix Park. And the tone of the report was exactly what you would expect from normal people experiencing a rare bit of decent Irish summer. They were delighted.
Well, today was officially the hottest day of the year so far. Temperatures soared across the country with 30 degrees recorded at Mount Dillon in County Roscommon. The good spell of weather is set to continue. However, there will be a drop in temperatures from tomorrow. Our reporter
Sinead Huzzy joins us now from sunny Athlone. Looks absolutely glorious there where you are this evening. Sinead, apart from plenty of ice cream and hopefully plenty of sun cream as well, how have people been enjoying this fine dose of Irish summer?
Well, Ray, as you said, today officially the hottest day of the year so far. Not far from here, Mount Dillon in County Roscommon recording 30 degrees. The Phoenix Park in Dublin, 25 degrees. Dublin Airport, 24 degrees. And here we believe almost 30 degrees. As you say, the weather isn't going to continue. We're going to see a drop in temperatures. But certainly today, everyone was out and about enjoying every single moment. Basking in the sunshine as temperatures across the country reached the high 20s today. Blue skies, east. It's time in 3 years that Met Éireann issued a high temperature warning, and it's all due to continental air coming from the Sahara Desert.
It's beautiful. It's lovely looking at the kids out swimming and enjoying themselves.
I think it is a very good weather today because usually it's always rain, and so then I'm very happy. I'm very impressed with the weather.
We're thinking about going away, and we're so glad now that we stayed at home, and it's nice to be in our own local area. And the Costa del Athlone, is that what we said? The Costa del Hudson Bay.
We left 90 degrees in Boston, so we didn't think we'd have such lovely weather here. We thought it would be raining.
Out on the water today, people were being urged to take care. A full moon tonight means riptides.
Oh, there was a full moon tonight. Oh, sorry.
I was digging through some old...
Sorry. This is what happens when you... Oh.
And 99.
Oh, yes. Lovely little children licking their ice cream. You don't love to look at that, right? Yeah.
A lot of...
And everybody's free to wear sunscreen, right? What this fuck's
report was exactly what you would expect from normal people experiencing a rare bit of decent Irish summer. They were delighted.
Well, today was officially the hottest day of the year so far.
It was as funny as it was educational. It was a proper scorcher of a day, 30 degrees Celsius at Mount Dillon in Roscommon and 25 in the Phoenix Park. And the tone of the report was exactly what you would expect from normal people experiencing a rare bit of decent Irish summer. They were delighted.
Well, today was officially the hottest day of the year so far. Temperatures soared across the country. A drop in temperatures. It's absolutely glorious there.
Recording 30 degrees. The Phoenix continue. We're going to see a drop. Enjoying every single... Enjoying the summer heat. It's the first time in the Sahara Desert.
I'm very impressed with the weather.
We're thinking about going away, and we're so glad now that we stayed at home, and it's nice to be in our own local area. And the Costa del Athlone, is that what we said? The Costa del Hudson.
Did you see the chemtrails behind him? Jeez, dude. You see like the square clouds behind him? Wow.
In our own local area, and the Costa del Athlone, is that what we said? The Costa del Hudson Bay.
We left 90 degrees in Boston, so we didn't think we'd have such lovely weather here. We thought it would be raining.
Out on the water today, people were being urged to take care. A full moon tonight means riptides will be more frequent.
Jesus Christus. A frequent riptide? That doesn't even make sense, but okay.
You're going to find that there's going to be currents that will pull people away from shore. There'll be certain currents that'll drag people away out of safety and out of their depth. So they just need to be conscious of that.
Oh, yeah. Nice chemtrails in the sky behind you. There. I mean, look at these lovely chemtrails behind you.
Pull people away from shore. There'll be certain currents that'll drag people away out of safety and out of their depth. So they just need to be conscious of that.
For farmers, it's certainly the time to make hay while the sun shines.
We're blessed with the weather the way we got it today, and things lucky enough are looking down on us.
While the good weather is expected to last, Met Éireann says temperatures will fall tomorrow. But still time to get some sun and, of course, a 99. Well, temperatures will drop back to the mid or early 20s tomorrow, Met Éireann says. And dare I say it, unfortunately, they're forecasting rain for later in the week. So the message is enjoy the sun while it lasts.
Absolutely. Sinead Huzzy in Hudson Bay not alone for us tonight. Thanks, Sinead.
Now, is that not all bog standard and normal stuff that you'd expect? Meanwhile, fast forward to July 2026, a decade later to the month, when a similarly warm spell of around 30 degrees was experienced, and the contrast is almost comical.
I think it's also comical. This reporter, he looks like a top tier. How do you call this? Top caste Indian mixed with an Irishman, but I don't know what's going on there.
Actually, like something out of a skit. Get a load of this extremely terrifying.
I think he's a skit itself.
Coverage and the angle that they take on it.
Well, most of us do enjoy the warm weather, the dry weather, and it gives a lot of people a boost, people a new reason to go outside and be that little bit healthier. But there is a downside as well. A lot of research shows that when you look at mental illnesses, particularly substance misuse, rates tend to go up. So, for example, for every 1 degree Celsius rise in temperature, the rate of significant alcohol.
Yeah, all these Irish people are. Yeah.
And drug misuse goes up by about 5%. So a 1 degree Celsius rise in temperature producing a noticeable increase in drug and alcohol misuse. And that's in most countries around the world. And this has a knock-on effect. We find in heat waves, for example, the rates of acute distress presenting to hospitals. This could be, severe anxiety, severe depression, and so forth. The rates of presentation go up by around 10% in a heat wave. So there is very much a downside as well in terms of irritability, in terms of anxiety and depression, and that can lead on to substance misuse and quite acute distress for some people.
Now, if you'll excuse me for just one moment, I think that contrasting coverage is after giving me whiplash. I have an excruciating pain in my neck because it is, of course, the same country, similar temperatures, but the script has completely changed. While you're sitting there enjoying the sun, just remember you're potentially 1 degree away from a crippling addiction and a trip to A&E with clinical depression. This is just one clip of many, of course. Every other report out of the state broadcaster these days is about deadly heat waves and wildfires and water shortages and babies in Paris burning to death in hot cars, whereas comparable domestic temperatures a decade ago would have just been reported as a bit of banter and an excuse to break out the bikini. The objective facts haven't changed, but the way they're presented have. And the truth is, you can make anything seem scary if you really want to. If all you reported day in and day out was about STIs and sexual violence and unplanned pregnancies, you could even put people off physical intimacy. Anything, even up to and including a sunny day at the beach, can be made to look like a 9/11-esque chemical weapons attack if you describe it in a horrific enough manner and you only focus on the risks, the dangers, and the hyperbolic speculative projections. The only thing that's changed in the intervening decade is that RTE formally joined a climate change activist group called Covering Climate Now, as previously reported on Gript, which you can read more about here. Their goal is explicitly to transform media coverage of climate.
What now? What now?
And the hyperbolic speculative projections. The only thing that's changed in the intervening decade is that RTE formally joined a climate change activist group called Covering Climate Now, as previously reported on Gript, which you can read more about here. Their goal is explicitly to transform media coverage of climate, and they instruct their members to drop balance, avoid platforming dissent, and to keep the crisis framing front and center at all times. They don't even pretend to be neutral in their coverage, and this proves it. Every warm spell must now be filtered through the approved lens of a crisis, mental health collapse, and societal breakdown, because that's what their activist peers have demanded. The fact that the 2016 clip now looks like radical counter-revolutionary material tells you everything you need to know about how off the rails RTE has gone lately, and you're forced to pay the license fee for the privilege of being force-fed obvious propaganda.
How was Gript Media permitted into the press council?
Gript Media have a pass-through to Leinster.
Yeah, so that's a lot of promotion there in the end. Gripped Media, I guess that's his name. Even though he's got some good topics and some good points, can't agree with this motherfucker, man. But how about these fires that are going on all over the West world? Nowhere in Africa, right? Nowhere in Asia. Only in the Western Hemisphere, like Europe, Canada, America. Yeah. Somehow it skipped America, but it's only Canada and Europe. How does that work? Not Africa? Not Africa? What? How? How is there no fires in Africa? It's way hotter and it's way drier in Africa, but somehow there's no bushfires or natural fires there. How does that work? That might be the answer. That might be the answer. I think I appreciate that. Yeah. Let's see how this one goes.
Animal sacrifice is a savage religious practice that's been outlawed in most of the West for about 1,600 years, ever since the Romans decided it was too barbaric to exist in civilized society. Well, unfortunately, a city council in Michigan has just decided to allow its residents to start sacrificing animals in their backyards for religious reasons.
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, of course. You should, right? Because of the Africans that just flow into your country. Well, good thing that we might view Africans as animals, so we can just sacrifice them in our own back garden. You know, but I mean, we identify them as animals. So, you know, since it's allowed.
Decided to allow its residents to start sacrificing animals in their back.
Yeah. Can't say that. Probably I can't say that.
Fortunately, a city council in Michigan has just decided to allow its residents to start sacrificing animals in their backyards for religious reasons. Now, why might they be doing this? Well, it turns out that all the city's council members are peaceful, tolerant, progressive Muslims. So I guess the Romans were just being intolerant bigots. And I'm glad we have Muslims here, making our society more civilized and inclusive.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you, Muslims. Thank you for yeah, push the wrong button. Chicken is okay. That's funny, Lance. That's fucking funny. Let's not play this one. I wanted to play the other one. Oh yeah, Michael Young. That man's you guys know about Michael Young, right?
A lightning strike, so you might hear a little thunder, or this microphone might weed it out. Thank you to everyone who has supported our work. It's incredibly important. We absolutely need it. And actually, a lot of people that previously supported the work just can't. There's lightning's getting close. Just cannot actually afford it anymore.
Okay, so Michael Jan, he's an old Marine, and he's very much into intelligence, right? He knows how the army works, how politics works, and he does a lot of prophecies, or how do you call this? He knows what's going to happen, right? Because he knows strategy, and many of his prophecies actually came true. So yeah, this is quite an interesting personality to listen to.
And I don't add any charge to that. In any case,
he might be AI, though. I don't know. I don't think so. But
a lot of people need more, detailed and textured information, and for that, it's very expensive for me to learn these things and to generate these things, and it's been extremely risky. And I'm not going to give it away for free because I need the money and I need the time, and because we are going to set up Conjuro House. But on Substack and whatnot, everything remains free, and will remain free. Now, I want to talk about the Middle East a bit. As you can see, the war is growing. As I said from the very beginning that it would, it's pretty obvious that the war is growing. You see, allegedly, Saudi Arabia and U.S. forces hit people on pilgrimage today over in Iraq, and multiple targets hit Shia people on the way to Karbala, and which is a big, the war is going to grow more. And now, did the Saudis actually do it? I don't know. But if they did, or if they didn't, the information war is that they did. And that will obviously pit Saudis against Shia, which are very powerful. And there's so many of them. And now keep in mind, I'm watching some of these podcasts with some of these retired CIA guys and all these other experts, and I won't name names because it doesn't do any good at this point. But I can't tell if they have no idea what's going on, or if they're part of a deception op. I just don't know. But I see so many analysis that these things like Saudis, if it was Saudis, or Americans for that matter, attacking Shia on pilgrimage over in Iraq, and how, like, one word that I saw today used was how stupid that is, or how idiotic that is, and that sort of thing. But is it idiotic and is it stupid if your plan is to
if your plan is to destroy every economy in the world, right? Because that's the plan. They need to destroy all farms. They need to destroy all countries. They need to destroy all identity. And the new thing is going to be everything digital. That's the plan.
Destroy Saudi Arabia, as I've said many times, is
it's part of the Greater Israel plan, right? Like the Greater Israel is only going to take place in the Middle East. No, it's happening in the world. Don't be distracted. The Greater Israel is the fucking world. And these demons want to take over. And they call themselves Israel. And they're not even religious. They just call themselves Israel and try to fool everyone that identifies as religious or as Christian. Christ, Jesus, the man, he didn't like idolization, per definition. He didn't like churches. He didn't want you to call yourself a Christian or a Jesuit. But look at the people who call themselves Jesuit or Christian. And then just look at the people that are good. They never call themselves anything. They're just good people.
part of the plan. Many, I don't even know how many times I've said that in writing and on interviews. Part of the plan is to destroy all those Gulf states, Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, UAE, right? Qatar, lightning's moving in more and more. And that's part of the plan. I mean, that's like nakedly obvious at this point. That part of the plan is to just make general war in that region and destroy all those countries. And so the Greater Israel Project calls for instance, the destruction of Jordan and the destruction of Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Kuwait, Iraq, destruction of Iraq. That's part of the Greater Israel Project, Lebanon, and so in Syria, right? That's actually part of
Qatar. When he says Qatar, he means Qatar, right? That was funny. Qatar, yeah, Qatar, yeah.
General war in that region and destroy all those countries. And so the Greater Israel Project calls for instance, the destruction of Jordan and the destruction of Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Kuwait, Iraq, destruction of Iraq. That's part of the Greater Israel Project, Lebanon, and so in Syria, right?
So the thing is, he doesn't mention Turkey, right? And Turkey is also part of the so-called Greater Israel Project. Turkey has got one of the biggest armies. That's the third big army in the world after the USA and China, right? And China's got a very young army, right? Mind you, that's only a 20-year-old army. So it's been a standing army for 10 years, and they don't have any combat experience. Russia does. Russia has a lot of combat experience, right? Russia is the most dangerous army in this world as we speak. China's got a big army. The USA's got a great standing army, right? But it's almost out of ammunition. So Russia actually is the biggest force, and then Turkey. But Turkey's got no combat experience. But still, that's a very that's something to that's an army to keep into account, right? They're Turks, right? This expression, young Turks, right? That's for a reason. So they want to take this tiny bit, this tiny little pinky toe part of Turkey. And that's not going to go well. I'm quite sure. But still, Turkey's not standing up. What is it? Is Erdogan a Jew too? Might be. I think they're all Jews. If they're not Jews, they're sodomites.
That's actually part of the plan. It's not even hidden. This isn't like an Easter egg hunt where you have to dig around to find it. They say what they're up to. They've drawn the maps. I mean, it's right there. And yet we've got these analysts who are, saying this is stupid. Now, I've said many times before, and I want to repeat it now, that if you're seeing people do things that perpetually look stupid, or that's the variable that let's use Fauci as an example. Fauci right now, because Fauci's in the news, right? Now, we've got a lot of people running around saying Fauci should be in prison. Fauci should be, yeah, he should be. He should be a lot more than in prison, right? We all get it. But he's also a foil. He's also a distraction, because the big people that are really doing this, Fauci's a nothing on that scale. He's a piece of dust in a dust storm. He's a nothing. He's irrelevant. But the energy is focused on Fauci. And people claim their master Trump, I call him orange fungus, was fooled by Fauci, which means Trump is amazingly stupid. Or maybe Trump wasn't amazingly stupid and he wasn't actually fooled by Fauci, right? He clearly was not fooled by Fauci. I just saw Trump talking from the Oval Office about, Fauci and this. Anyway, not to go into the auto pin and all that stuff they're talking about. It's irrelevant. Fauci's irrelevant.
It is indeed irrelevant. I mean, the guys like Fauci and Trump, they're just the fall guys, the poster boys, the patsies, however you want to call it. Like, do you think that the whole COVID problem is going to be solved when Fauci gets jailed or hanged? That's not even going to happen. That's not even going to happen. How about everybody that cooperated? That said, Befehl is Befehl. Fauci said so. So Befehl is Befehl. An order is an order, I have to admit. See, I mean, they even held that against you at the Nuremberg process, right? What do you mean, Befehl is Befehl? You should have known better, right? And so how about all these governments that went along with the so-called Fauci? It's not about Fauci. It's not about Fauci. He's the poster boy. He's the poster guy. Fauci is not even the guiltiest one. He was just the one that was promoted the most. How about it's your own government that went along? We all know that there was some governments that didn't go along with the whole narrative. And what happened to them? Like in 2 or 3 months? Oh, somehow they suicided. Somehow they got... No, come on, man. It's every government in the world. It's all these people. It's not even people. It's demons. All the people in government are demons. They're not people. I've got a special occasion for these people. You know, I mean, they will all be part of my choreography. They'll be part of the decor and mostly of the floor. It's called neck dance. Neck dance. Neck dance.
Relevant. Even if Fauci were to go to prison for the rest of his life, or here comes the if my lights go out here, it's because we got a nearby strike. But even if it doesn't matter, Fauci's a nothing. The medical industrial complex is marching on, so he's just a distraction. Likewise, when we look at what's happening in Saudi Arabia, or let's say the Middle East, or globally between Russia and Ukraine and so many others, it's the same war. But when you see these people these analysts looking at the strike allegedly from Saudi Arabia in Iraq, and in the U.S. and Iraq, and saying they use the imaginary variable I, which when you're doing calculus, there's an imaginary number, right, called I, because the calculations, the mathematics that humans use seems to be imperfect, so they actually have to use imaginary numbers to have some of the equations balance. So I squared equals -1, right? That's the definition of I. I squared equals...
What now?
-1. But I is just an imaginary number because that's how you can make some of these equations work in calculus, right?
I'm not a mathematician, but I know that mathematicians love to lie and love to be magicians. I mean, like, what if I put, so 1 + 1 is 2. So what if I put the second one behind the screen and I make that a 3? And then 1 + 1 isn't 2, but it's actually 4. Yeah, but you put it behind the screen. What the fuck do you want to be? I mean, you tell me that you put it behind the screen and now it's 4 all of a sudden. Yeah. I've seen these tricks. They can tell it better than I can, but it doesn't make any sense. You just need to agree to be fooled.
And so that's why I make that connection with what I see often when people, they can't explain what's happening other than by saying that that's stupid, that's idiotic, or that's incompetence. So the imaginary number I is, in this case, the variable is I is idiocy or incompetence, right? But sometimes there's another variable at play, S. Variable S, sabotage. The idiocy, the incompetence, is actually not idiocy and incompetence, it's sabotage. Because the end state goals, these analysts, you keep hearing them talk about off ramps. And if you really want peace, you'll do this, that, or the other. MOUs, they were talking about the memorandum of understanding today, which is just ridiculous talk. It's a waste of, it's like talking about if we can just throw Fauci in jail, everything will be fine. It's like memorandum. There's no memorandum of understanding. And if people are talking about that, they're not even in the game. They're not even anywhere close to in the game. If they're talking about peace talks as if there's real peace talks going on, they're not in the game, or they are in the game, but they might be as distractions or information operations, right? So, I mean, because there's not going to be any real authentic peace talks. There's not going to be any authentic memorandum of understanding, whatever that is, for, to stop the shooting. That's not what this is about. This is super war. This is giga war. This is about depopulation. This is massive. They're talking about depopulating Earth from billions of people, reducing the population by billions of people. And what's happening is in service to that. It's not the imaginary, variable I, idiocy or incompetence. It's sabotage, right? So you've got what's unfolding in the Middle East and what's unfolding in the United States. And furthermore, these theories that I see these analysts and whatever you want to call them have, they're just not based on reality or where this is going. Or they'll say, oh, this is about energy, or it's not about energy, right? It's energy is one of the things that it's about, because, it doesn't fit the fact pattern just to.
Oh, Jesus Christus. Sometimes I even am bored with the stuff that I'm showing. I think I need to have a recipe for love, guys. Come on, man. I got so much love to share. Baby. Now, what do you say?
So much love to give. I got so much love to give, baby. Now what do you say? Why don't we spend a while on it? A little bit of this, take your time and let it stew. A little bit of that, take your time and let it brew. Let it slowly simmer before you bring it to the boil. Sprinkle it with sugar, not too heavy on the oil. A touch of me and you, up the heat but not too far. A little twist of ooh, and a pinch of ooh la la. A little bit of this, I'm giving you the best of me. A little more of that, I'm cooking up a recipe for love. Standing on the crossroads, I've been waiting to watch you change. Whoa, bending over backwards, I've been hoping we stay the same. Standing on the crossroads, I've been waiting to watch you change. Whoa, bending over backwards, I've been hoping we stay the same. I got so much love to give, I got so much more to give, baby. Now what do you say? Why don't we spend a while on it? A little dose of you, then add what's left of me. A whole lot more of loving, we could start a family. Slowly cool it down, don't let these things go cold. Cause I want you around until the days when we are old. Standing on the crossroads, I've been waiting to watch you change. Whoa, bending over backwards, I've been hoping we stay the same. standing on the crossroads, I've been waiting to watch you change. Whoa, bending over backwards, I've been hoping when we stay the same. Had a touch of me and you, up the heat but not too far. A little twist of blue and a pinch of ooh la la. A little bit of this, I'm giving you the best of me. A little bit of that, I'm cooking up a recipe for love. Said I'm cooking up a recipe for love. Yeah, yeah. Said I'm cooking up a recipe for love. Whoa, whoa, baby, hey, hey. Whoa, whoa, hey.
Yeah, yay, yay, yay. Oh, baby. Oh, mama. So what comes after this? Lizzo walks like that. All day long. All day long. Yeah, but you don't have the fat distribution that she does, Lizzo. I mean, it takes a female to do it. Can't do it anymore, man. We used to do it back in the day, but no, we stopped doing that. Okay, shall we continue with Michael Young? Okay.
Hang your hat and say this is all about energy. It's not all about energy. It's about depopulation, right? And controlling the remnant. That's what it's about on the grand strategy level. Is that it's not about just energy. It's about it's cutting energy, though, will reduce the population. If you cut the energy significantly, the population will reduce significantly. Because that's entwined. I mean, that's baked in the cake. If you really cut, and they're cutting the energy, as I published many times that I thought would happen, that the Zionists, for instance, would close the Strait of Hormuz and blame Iran, which they did. I wrote that on my Substack in July of this month in 2025. So a little bit more than a year ago, maybe July 3rd or something. Anyway, you can find it on my Substack. And so, and I said it on many interviews before then, that I thought that this war would happen. And this is about population reduction. I think you're going to see the Strait of Malacca closed. I think that, and now I've mentioned before, potential war with Brazil and Argentina. I don't know when that'll be, but more and more, just in the last week, I'm starting to sense it. Now, I've been saying this for quite a while, that I think that will happen, but I don't know when. I don't know exactly what the sparks will be, and they're irrelevant anyway. But what's going on in the Middle East is part of the larger war. I don't see any off ramps because that's not the intention. If you see these so-called analysts that are talking about MOUs and the peace talks as if they're real, just change the channel, because they don't know what they're talking about. Their predictions always depend, their explanations always depend on the imaginary number or variable I. I squared equals -1, right? That it always they always have to use ignorance or incompetence to explain what's happening, because otherwise it doesn't make sense. That's always should be a red flag for your own.
Yeah, I will share the video, Ripa. Of course, he does have a YouTube channel. I mean, it's heavily banned, of course. But here it is, if I can still share a link. Charlie, welcome.
Thinking that's been a red flag for my thinking for many years. When I have to go, that's idiotic, that's idiotic, that's idiotic, that's stupid, that's incompetence. At some point, hey, I'm looking at these guys. They're supposed to be very smart. They are actually able to do very smart things. And they actually say that they're doing, depopulation. Maybe it's not idiocy and incompetence. It's not. It's total war. And so, so there's not going to be peace, in my view. I don't see it coming, not in any time soon, not until billions of people are dead, and it's that dead.
It's that dire, right? It's that, yeah. He knows what this is all about. You and I know what this is all about, and we can only consider ourselves lucky or unlucky if we get to survive it. Either way you look at it. I mean, do you want to survive this? Do you want to live for 10 more years, or do you just want to go to the Creator again? Get right with God. I mean, I don't even know how to attend this, right? It's such an utter crazy thing to think about. Like, with this much technology and this much knowledge, we choose this way? We choose the demons way? Like, oh, everybody needs to be controlled but the people that control us. No, it should be the other way around. But somehow, you're the criminal for thinking wrong, right? Or for even considering wrong, for having a question about the people that control you, which are obviously, they're all demons, they're all Satanists, but we should be controlled, right? The innocent people, the free people should be controlled, not the people who control us. No, they should be free. Yeah. To drink the blood of children. Yeah, okay. I mean, this is the world we live in, and nobody's standing up. Even these people that say, oh, my Second Amendment. Oh, yeah. Oh, you stupid people in the UK and in Europe. Oh, they let you take their gun. You let the government take your guns away, right? Oh, at least we didn't. Still, nobody shot anybody in government. No one did. Nobody is being the fucking hero in America. These people, it's crazy all over the world. But I mean, if anything, my dear Americans, you should make a posse, how do you call this? Posse comitatus, right? If anyone's capable to overthrow the government, it's you. So why don't you get on and get it done already? Especially these people that are so proud of their Second Amendment. I cannot even tell you whether I have a gun or not.
Serious. So, all right, I'm going to cut it short. But the attacks there are not idiocy. They're not incompetence. They're evil, right? They're sabotage. They're evil sabotage. That's what they are. Just put that into the calculus, and everything balances. The equation works out when you look. More importantly, if you use the paradigm that just experiment with it for a couple months, that they're actually trying to destroy all those countries and the United States and Europe and Japan, where I'm at now, and a lot more, Australia, New Zealand, a lot, Canada, and use that paradigm that they're actually trying to destroy us and reduce the population, and then see if you're able to start more accurately predicting what's going to happen. And I think if you experiment with that enough, but you need 24 karat input information, sans mud. You got to keep the mud out. That's why I can't pay attention to those guys. They're full of mud. They don't know what they're talking about. But it is interesting to watch them long enough to know where their minds are going. But once
welcome, Phil and Lizzo. Do you think I'm going to let this play for a little while longer, because the man is quite knowledgeable, right? I mean, he knows what he's talking about.
If I can find one that actually realizes where what this is all about. Mike Adams realizes this is about population reduction, but most people don't realize that, and they don't realize that those Gulf states are being disassembled. They're being disassembled. Now, actually, I'm going to go on tonight in a few hours. What time is it? I'm going to go on in about 5 hours, less than 5 hours, with Mario Nafal. So I'm going to go on with him. Then I might get 30 minutes of sleep because I'll be finishing with him at about maybe midnight my time. And then at 2 a.m, I'm going on with Rex Jones, which is Rex is Alex Jones's son, whom I met recently at their studio last week in Texas, actually. And so he's quite smart, Rex. I've been on with him one other time some months ago. And so he wants to talk about these things. Mario Nafal wants to talk about them. And I got a bunch more interviews coming up with Doug Casey's folks. I don't know if that one's going to be public or not. Anyway, a few more. Anyway, once I figure out a few things out. Anyway, if you need a consultation, private consultation, one of the things that's quite serious.
It's going to cost you a lot of money. It's going to cost you a lot of money if you want a private consultation with this guy. But that's for a reason. But okay, let's play the video.
And I talked with somebody today privately about this as the draft. I predicted this long time ago. You'll have no problems finding it. Long time ago, I'm predicting that we'll have a draft in the United States to kill off our patriots and to kill off, Americans that they want to get out of the way, and then fill our American uniforms with people that will genocide people in the United States. I've said that many times over years. I don't even know when it became obvious.
That's deep. I mean, that's been happening for quite some decades already, but that's not even a prediction. That's just a confirmation. But it's also a prediction. It's also a prophecy. Yeah.
With people that will genocide people in the United States. I've said that many times over years. I don't even know when it became obvious, but I've been saying it off and on since then. It's coming down. Another thing that I'd like to repeat is I would not be surprised to see Mosul Dam be attacked or destroyed at some point. I would not be surprised to see Mecca or Medina attacked at some point. In fact, I would not be surprised at all. And because this is about causing as many people as possible to go to war with each other, cats and dogs fighting each other, getting the ant beds to fight each other, getting the bees to fight each other. This is about total. The Zionists in particular are trying to do population reduction, and the Chinese are working with them to knock out the United States and some others. But the Chinese don't want to be depopulated by the Zionists either, because they're frenemies. They actually don't trust each other. They hate each other, but they can use each other to destroy us, right? And so that's how the paradigm I'm working under. It's highly predictive. It's highly predictive. Maybe it's completely wrong, but for now, it's highly predictive to go with that. Go with it and experiment with it for a while, a couple months maybe. But again, your input information has to be accurate, and you got to keep the mud out, right? Because the mud will gunk everything up, and you'll get wrong predictions because your input information was wrong, even if your paradigm is right, but your input information is wrong. So in any case, thank you, everyone.
Let me answer that question for you, stupid. Because you're so stupid. Of course you will answer of course you will ask this question, right? Because you're stupid. You know you're stupid and you want to know more. This man knows more than he talks about on YouTube, right? So I think, when you're in government and you're in a position and you actually care for the country, he might give you some more information that's way more essential. Yeah, no, but I'm just going to play the video to the end, and then we're going to have a conversation, guys. You're very welcome.
But if you want private consultations, email to me at my Proton Mail, michael.yon@protonmail.com. So it's michael.yon@protonmail.com, and put consultation in the. I get that many emails every day. It's a huge amount, so it's hard to sort through. So make sure to put consultation in the header, and then I will immediately respond, because I need the money and I need the time and you need the information. And especially some people can benefit tremendously from this information. But when it comes to the draft, I think the draft is going to happen. I think it's going to be used to kill off a lot of Americans, and then unless Americans decide to stand up and fight, the United States will be destroyed. That's the path that this is going down. Let's just get right to that point. All right. Well,
yeah. So I think that's the end of the video. I will. I don't think it's going to say very much more.
Been since
So welcome to the show, Lizzo and Phil.
Welcome. Hello. Thanks for having us.
Let me remove this guy. Michael Young.
Hyper today, Roy. Bit hyper.
Are you?
Yeah, very. I was hoping Lance would come up on the panel. Can you try and get him to see if I recommend he come up? If you could get him up, I have a question I want to ask him, and I don't want to interrupt your show, and I can't really say much. But that last video I watched, I didn't really care what the man said. It was all going like blah blah blah.
What are you talking about? Mars? Mars?
The man in the video, yeah, the man you just been showing us, yeah.
Oh, Michael Young. Yeah.
I mean, is he AI? Was that AI?
Could be.
He done a lot of triple talk, a lot of but I what then, which is code, you know, it's code. A lot of tongue flicking, you know. Now, yesterday we did briefly talk about They Walk Among Us. Maybe I call them different entities, you know.
Yeah.
They Walk Among Us. So that to me was just a pure entity. That, and what he was saying was just. I can't really comment on what he said because I just see all that nonsense as propaganda and just.
No, but I mean, besides that, I think he brought the right message. Like they're just trying to depopulate Earth, right?
With repopulate with what?
No, depopulate.
Oh, depopulate. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they're repopulating all the Western countries, not Africa. You know.
Yeah.
Not Asia. Only Australia, Europe, and North America. That's where they need diversity. Not so much in Brazil or Peru or Argentina. No, they don't need diversity there because diversity is already a thing there, right? They don't need it. They only need it in Canada and the United States and Europe. And somehow Russia is excluded from this. Now, how does that work? So diversity is only a thing in the white nations, right? And diversity is a bad thing in Africa, right? We don't need no white people in Africa. White people are bad. And black people are good, especially when they're in Europe. But white people in Africa, I mean, they need to be. You've seen these videos, right? Kiss the boer, kiss the boer. That's how they promote it on YouTube. Instead of saying kill the boer, they say kiss the boer. And you know, I'm sure this guy said kill the boer.
Probably did, yeah. I never watched any of that type of material. I mean, I think a few people are aware of my channel. I'm not going to promote my channel. I mean, it's.
Oh, you can promote your channel, my channel.
Well, it's Lizzo I. Look, I'll cut to the chase because I don't want to waste your show because you are on a theme today. I really was hoping today that Lance would come up. I watched the show yesterday.
Who would come up?
Your guest you had on yesterday, the lovely gentleman Lance.
Oh, Lance.
Yeah. I was
Okay,
hoping
yeah,
to, look, I'm going to cut to the chase. I made a video yesterday after I watched that show, and it's on my channel. I also made one today referencing. I do a satire show. It's called. It's Lizzo. I mean, it's Lizzo I, the channel. It's fun fiction, and it's from my Twilight Zone eye. I made a video of yourself today, and the reason I did it is because I believe I've got to be very careful, and I just don't want to insult. I don't want to insult you, but you
Oh,
are.
you can insult me. I mean,
You are all right. You're Kitten Mizzo, Munoz. You are Kitten Munoz, alias Barry Weiss, and the gentleman on yesterday is a royal. Lance, I believe, is King Michael of Romania. And respect you both. No, I know it's a laughing matter, but I am a fictional Twilight Zone satire account.
okay, yeah.
Me personally, I can't portray that to the public.
You're very much into likeliness, right? If
Not likeliness. No.
Now, if you see a face, like, okay, this face means that to me.
Yeah, you are Kitten Munoz. I can't pronounce it. Munoz. How do you say your name? Your real name, please. Is it Kitten? Munoz.
What?
You are. I love you dearly, darling. But
It's me. Kitten Munoz.
Yeah, you are. I believe you are, and I still respect you.
Purr.
As I said yesterday, I walk through this world with love of Jesus, so I will not have enemies, even if there are aliens amongst us, even if you are not really void. I respect your work. I respect you dearly, but I have to speak my truth. I do believe you are, and I've got the balls to ask you straight.
I never heard that. I feel actually quite how do you call this? Complimented. You know, like.
Thank you. I feel complimented because I know I'm right, but I don't want to disrupt your show.
What did you call me? Kitty McMungus? Like what?
It's spelled M-U. You know how to spell it. You tell me.
No, I don't know, man.
It's your name. You are. It's Kitin. Yeah. So that's.
You called you a pussy, boy. Kitty, pussy, kitty.
No, boy knows. Boy can say it. Come on, please. You're patronising you, darling.
I'm just messing around, Lizzo. How you doing?
I'm all right. Thank you very much. Thank you. Please, I'm sorry if you came.
I got pulled out. Now everybody knows me. Now everybody.
You're good.
Oh, well, thank you. You're a darling. But I really wanted to. I put Lance on my video last night because to me it was a no-brainer. That is definitely His Highness King Michael of Romania, and I do like him. And if I've insulted him, then I will apologise now to him. I did want him to come up so I could apologise to him.
Are you into fantasy books and fantasy games?
No, not at all. No, I don't read books. I've never read the Bible.
So what are you saying, Lizzo? You see who we were in our past? Is that what you're saying?
No, I've got no superpowers. God gave me good eyes, and my eyes actually see what's going on. There's also a lady. There's also, if you do watch my latest video on YouVoy, there's a lady who has a black face mask on. She's also that maltologist, truth seeker something. I can't remember. Her laugh gave her away.
Oh fuck that! I talking about
her
Jenny?
laugh gave her
Jenny?
laugh. Yeah.
Are you talking about Jennifer?
Yeah, and she's also the one in Voice Show. That old lady comes on. I can see her. It's her playing the same role. I'm sorry to mess you guys about. I love you dearly, but I should really. If you wanted me to carry on talking, I will. But I don't want to disrupt you. So you were on it.
No, we'll have. Phil,
I also know London.
Let's Phil talk. I mean, Phil's here on panel.
Phil, apologies. Sorry, I'm hyper. I'm really hyped today on this.
That's okay. I mean.
Thank you.
Yeah.
What's up, boy? With the Americans, here's what I think it is. Nobody wants to do anything till it's right on their doorstep because they enjoy their cush life and they enjoy their American dream.
Yeah.
That's what it is. I mean, people give up shit for the common cold that they shouldn't give up, you know, so they did it just to get along.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think it's like they're scared. I think it's just they don't want to fuck with it. They don't want to be bothered with it. Like it'll be okay. They're asleep. They're in a stupor.
Yeah.
That's what I see here.
Do you think you're gonna survive the ray guns? You know,
Yeah. I think it's.
sea guns. Do you think you can shoot the people before they hit you with the frequency guns? Do you think you can use? Do you think Americans can use firearms towards the people that use the frequency guns? That's what I'm thinking about. Like,
No, I don't believe so. I have a different outlook on it. Things are going to be changing. This is a spiritual war.
Yeah.
So I'm spiritual. I'm not a natural man. I'm a spiritual man. So I know things are going to happen. What would be the sense of us all being awakened or aware just to perish? I have more faith in my divine source mother than that to happen. So plus I found some stuff, but I left you something in the back chat. I didn't want to bring it up till I showed it to you. Did you look at it?
There, I see it. Yeah. Joe 225. Can you pull it up? Yeah, I've heard about it. I've heard about that theory or that idea. Like, and I think there's something to it. You know.
Well, I posted it. Those 3 worms are only in North America.
Yeah, I've heard about that, and also like the way the Mississippi is actually the Nile, right? I've heard good arguments for that too. Yeah.
I lived in Florida where they say the Gopherwood was in the Apalachicola River Basin. I lived in Chattahoochee.
Mm-hmm.
It's right there. It looks like it's big cypress. They're giant trees.
Yeah.
The Tower of Babel is in Canada. It's called Louis Babel Wildlife.
It would make sense, right? Because all that we know is lies, and then they say, "Oh, the forgotten land or there's the promised land is."
Yeah.
Back in the day, America used to be called the Promised Land, right? Like 300 years ago.
Yeah,
that's land, right?
Yeah, it drives up the land of milk and honey is what Noah called it, because Mount Nebo over here is like almost 13,000 feet tall. Mount Nebo in Israel is like 300 feet above sea level or some crap
it's
like
just
that.
A fucking hill. It's just a
Exactly.
Yeah.
It says he climbed the mountain, not the hill.
Yeah. My theories are more easy to prove than any of that you just said. Yeah, and I do believe in the mud flood. And love your ladder behind you, by the way.
Well, I'm in the barn.
Yeah, you're right. So I mean, look, I'm going to get off because I know I'm going to find a way in to keep badgering my theory. But I do, Roy. God bless you. You are a beautiful boy. But I do believe you are kidding, and thank you for having me up. And again, I'm sorry to laugh. I'm sorry.
I still don't. Can you write my name? What do you think my name is? I want to read it out loud. Kitten.
Yeah. You know it is. Come on, you're winding me up. You're slow. You're winding me up. You are him.
I love it.
Look, I've even exposed London Man. I know who London Man. I know who London Man.
What's London Man's actual name?
I don't know the principal character he's playing, but I think he's Ari Ben. Yeah.
Aruman. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I've done Martin Lichter. They're all on my channel. Even Autodidactic. If you know the band 9 Inch Nails, just check the guitarist out. He wasn't happy with me. I try to tell the truth as I'm doing this because I don't have a problem with it. It doesn't bother me. I love it. I absolutely love what you're doing. I don't like the fact you might eat me for dinner one day when this all goes down, you know. But, no. I don't know what your plans are, you lot. But
Neck dance. I think I think you should be in the audience, not part of the floor.
I'm just. Also, something made me laugh. Alex Jones's son is called Rex.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Like a reptilian. Yeah. I mean,
T-Rex.
it's so bloody obvious. It's so obvious.
Ah, well.
Boy, I'm going to go, but thank you so much for letting me at least say that. And if you get the chance to watch my video, please don't pull it. Please don't. Let me carry on. I do tell the audience.
I'm not gonna mention you to YouTube like, oh, he said bad words about me. He called me kitten mitten or whatever.
Yeah, you know the name. You're winding me up. All right, I'm going to go. Thank you to your audience and love to the chat room down there.
See you
There's
later.
poets in that audience. I know they're there. Thank you. Goodbye now.
See you, bud.
Bye-bye. I've got to go. I'm too hyper, darling.
He's actually the son of Iggy Pop, right? You can see that.
I am.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. No, he is Iggy Pop.
I've gone.
So that's just you and me now, Phil. How about that?
But that changes everything, in my opinion. That would make it hasn't been fulfilled because it's the day of the Lord. It's in every book. It's in almost every book of prophecy. It's in Isaiah, Jeremiah, Ezekiel, Joel, Amos. That's as far as I got right now.
Yeah, so you came to the conclusion that the book, the Bible, is actually proving that God is Satan, right?
Yeah, but it's like it's his book, and it's a book of the Nephilim. Genesis 6:4 and 1 Chronicles 1:1-10 proves that it's their lineage, not ours.
Yeah.
And how do we say that it's not ours? Well, we were here before they were here. Adam and Eve were Nephilim. They were the first Nephilim. And then they have children. Then they married our women. Because Seth had a wife, so who'd he marry? If they're the first man and woman, who's he going to marry?
Yeah.
So, it's a lot. It's a lot. I'm doing a live stream.
I hear what you say. I'm not with you completely, but I mean, I've had this revelation, or how do you call this? Yeah, revelation in myself, and that was after I read the Bible from cover to cover, and I started writing a letter to the devil.
Yeah, you told me. You said I remember you saying something about it.
Right? Yeah, you know about this, right?
Yeah.
And so I said, you did a very good job, reenacting the whole Jesus Act.
Mm-hmm.
But
if it even happened.
Well, that's the thing. I think the whole Jesus Act did happen. The whole Jesus thing did happen. That's why the devil or Satan or Lucifer, however you want to call him, he goes by 1,000 names, right? Mm-hmm. And so that's why he needed to reenact it. And it took him like 3 lifetimes to get it right. Because it takes so much humility to play that role, right?
Right.
So I might be wrong, but that's the way I looked at it. I never sent the letter because he doesn't have an address, right?
He got it.
But I'm sure he got it.
He got it. What do you think he sent your brother and sister over for?
Yeah.
So
that's my take on it. And so that doesn't deny what you're saying. So, but it might be a bit. Some people might say, "Well, that's a bit like." So it can all be right. Yeah, it can all be right at the same time, and it can all be wrong, right? But this is my take on it. So I think that Jesus is a historical figure. Jesus lived, and he's still alive, probably most likely, right? And but when he died physically, the devil had to reenact it, because the devil saw that Jesus is going to get so much acknowledgement and so much praise that he wanted to be in that place. And so, yeah, that's why he reenacted it, his whole life, like 3 times in a row before he got it right.
Right. Well, what I'm going to do Friday is I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead, Paul.
No, yeah, please talk to me.
What I'm going to do Friday is I'm going to go through all the scripture. I'm not Christian. I'm not religious. I'm just a man that sees it. And I'm not an interpretation. I'm just going to read them like it is and for what it says.
Yeah.
And let the cards fall where they may. Because I got this page and this page full of scripture saying he's not the Messiah. And it's easily, once you hear them all and put them together, 2 of them are just really profound. Like the people say it. Because prophecy said when the Messiah comes, he is there forever. Once he comes, he's there forever. He doesn't come, gone for 2,000 years, and then come back. Once he comes, it's
no. I think the book says 1,000-year reign, right? Like millennial reign.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
it's John 7.
And some people may say that already happened, that Jesus reigned with the saints, right?
Yeah, but he left, and he didn't have to die. What did he die for? If he died for our sins and to fulfill the law, why do we have sins in the law?
Dude, I don't have all answers.
Right. I'm just making. I know. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
It's a no-brainer. People are just, they love their Jesus. I get it.
Yeah, I'm very frustrated with this whole world as it is too.
Yeah, I get it.
I don't understand. I don't understand God's plan, and I don't trust in God's plan. But I see, still I see. Listen, I'm not a Christian. I'm not a Catholic.
I know you're not.
But I still do believe that Christ actually existed, back in the day. And I don't know how many millennia back that was. Like it might have been 1,000 years, might have been 750 years ago, might have been 2,000 years ago. I don't know. I just don't.
No, I get it. I understand. I totally understand. And people want to believe in a Jesus. And I get it too, but
I don't want to
believe in a lie either.
No, I know there's a creator.
Yeah. Oh yeah, me too. Absolutely. Absolutely. I had a little experience where I know it's real.
Yeah.
Totally. But it's not, to me, it's like a divine mother. It's not a man. It's not a father. And the whole Trinity stuff, that just seems really gay. Because, the Holy Spirit, it takes a man, woman to make a child. But you got the Father, the Holy Spirit's a man, and then you got the Son. Just the little things, you start putting them together, you're like, imagine that. They're little pee diddlers, and they like boys. They're the one that created the doctrine. And in 2014, they had a ceremony where they declared Lucifer as their god. It's on the YouTube. All you got to do is Vatican declares Lucifer as God. Pull it up, and it's all in Latin, and they sing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the Vatican, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. It's like 3 minutes long. It's not long at all.
Yeah. They don't even call on Lucifer as first. They go Asmodon, Asmael. Yes. Yeah. I mean,
it's all in Latin. Yeah.
Yeah.
But they say Lucifer. They guy translates it. So, yeah, it's obvious what they're saying. So, and then the United Nations, they're evoking the Christ, but it's called Lucifer Trust. Yeah. And they have since I don't know, it's I think it's like 34. Eleanor Roosevelt was the first one to read the evocation of the Christ. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what is your opinion? What's your view on eschatology, or do you think this will just continue to evolve into a technocratic state, the world?
No, I think it'll all be done by 2030. That's why they're having their agenda 2030.
Yeah.
I think the next few years is going to be really
Rough.
fast paced.
Yeah.
Not necessarily. The way I see it, the Luciferians and the Christians, if what they're saying, if what the Vatican's saying is true, everybody who believes in Jesus is really believing in Lucifer. So, and they're doing rituals. I mean, the body, eat my body, drink my blood. I mean, that's Babylonian dark blood magic right there.
Yeah, that's weird. Yeah.
When I came here, I was at Facebook.
But that's religion, right? That's religion.
Well, no, it's witchcraft. It's not religion. Yeah, it's witchcraft. Yeah.
But I mean, didn't Jesus say that he didn't like the church? He didn't like religion.
Yeah, he was called the Way. Paul made it Christianity in the church.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and like Paul says, don't teach another gospel, and the hell, they're both totally different gospels.
Yeah.
You know, like he was the way, and love thy neighbor. Paul is Christ crucified, Christianity. Jesus says take no oaths. Paul says take oaths. The kingdom of God is coming with Jesus, and Christ crucified and faith in Jesus is Paul. Live according to the law was Jesus. Everything's by faith with Paul. That's just to name a few.
Yeah.
But what I found is the Lord God in the Old Testament says, no more will you call me Baal, but call me Ishi. That's in Joel. Well, where is that? I can't remember where that. No, it's in Hosea.
Yeah, no, I heard you talk about this, and Ishi means the husband, right?
Yeah, yeah. So Jesus says the same thing to this church. I'll be your husband. So he's repeating the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
so that goes with my theory too, right?
Yes, absolutely.
With my theory too. So
yeah,
I think he took over and he reenacted the whole thing.
Yeah,
but that doesn't.
In my theory, he created the whole thing to hide today. But it could be the way you're saying. I'm not.
Yeah.
Because there are words in there that would be like from a Jesus type, like you're your temple and things of that nature. There's good advice.
Of course, evil wants to take those words too, right? Of course, evil wants to present itself as good. I mean, I see that a lot in my life. So so
99% lie, truth and 1% lie is still a big fucking lie. You know, so
I know. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I've been in court, and they don't even try to make it 99%. They just make it like
no. I've given it a doubt. I've given a lot of credit. Yeah, as you well know, I just did 2 years for something I didn't do. So,
right? Yeah, I mean,
yeah. Shit. You know what hung me was I wouldn't take the oath. I wouldn't put my hand on the Bible. I said, "You want me to take an oath on a Bible that says do not take oath?
Don't take an oath, right?" Yeah.
Everything just went 180 as soon as everybody was looking at me like I was the devil.
Yeah.
So it's all good.
Well, when I was in court, I told the judge and the accuser. How do you call this? The accuser.
Yeah.
I think there's a different name for it in English or in American judicial. I don't know.
Well, you can face your accuser, so we use the word accuser.
Yeah, accuser, right? And so there's somebody that had to do nothing with the whole case. He just read some papers, like the judge did. And I looked at them, and they actually judged me, and I said, "You know nothing about this case." And I asked them, "Why was I arrested?" They said, "Well, that's not what this is about. You objected." Yeah. Yes. Because right? Because I was the victim, and I was like, and I spoke up to them, and the solicitor next to me said, "Hey, Voy, tone down a bit," and even the public behind me said, "Tone down a bit, Voy," and I was like, "No, I'm not going to tone
Why
down.
would you? You're being wrongfully.
I'm here being judged. Judge not, lest you be judged. I was judged, so I'm going to tell them what I think about them." And the judge actually appreciated it. Like, wow, this guy really speaks up.
Well,
and I didn't say anything wrong, right? I just told them what I think about them. Like, you people, well, yeah, I said it in a kind way, but I told them that I think nothing of them because they don't have any proof. It's just a game that they're playing. Well, not a game, but a program, because somebody abused me, and these police officers that abused me want to play the victim, and now I'm the criminal, right?
Right.
And so they could not even tell me why I was arrested. But yeah, okay. So I resisted arrest, yeah, because I was the victim.
Yeah, what you got your hands on me for? Yeah. Same thing with me.
You actually did 2 years in jail for
23 months. Yeah. In prison. Yeah. And what would have stopped it all was I filed. What it was over was I have a piece of property that I bought in 1994, 40 acres. My house is a quarter mile off the road. It was my dad and I's hunting place. It was 4 hours south of home. When I left for 4 years because I had my experience and I couldn't talk to nobody about it, they would have put me in a straitjacket. So I just left. And I've never left before. They're like, "Oh, you're on drugs." Da, da, da. No, well, while I was gone, or before, it could have happened before. I don't know the exact date, but he took, because we had 2 apartment buildings. Dad and I had a concrete business together. We were partners for 21 years.
Please continue, but your prayers have been heard. Lance is here, but please continue your story, please.
And I filed. What happened was my dad took my name off of it, and he took an old quitclaim deed and he didn't change the county, but he changed the description, and he changed all the pertinent information for that property, except he didn't change the county that it was notarized in. So that's how I knew it was. I'm like, it's fake. I tried to show everybody. Nope, nobody. So what I did was I filed a complaint to quiet title that stops all actions. And you can only do that if you're on the original deed, which I was. So that's what I filed. And my sister's a state cop. And the sheriff came and got me. It says at the time of filing the complaint, it stops all ejectment and it stops everything until it's all straightened out. I'm in possession of it. I'm living there. It's had my name on it. They took it off. That's not what they did. They didn't even go by their own statutes and codes, and they took me to jail. Then they dropped it 9 months later. I went back home. They picked me up again and then filed all those charges on me. I've been told the judge, I'm going to my home. It's my home. I filed the right paperwork, the correct action. It says in there, at time of filing with the clerk, it stopped everything. Not that I need a judgment. It even says before judgment at the time of filing with the clerk. So I didn't need anything, and I was in possession. But they wouldn't even allow that in court.
So, but what was their decision that made you go into prison for 2 years?
Because breaking and entering, I had 3 level 6s: breaking and entering, destruction of property in my own home.
Yeah.
Destruction of personal property because they put a lock on the water meter. I busted that bitch.
Yeah. Rightfully so.
Yeah. Yeah, they took all my shit. About a couple $100,000. I had a pontoon, 2 boats, bass boats, 2 4-wheelers, my 0-turn mower. I mean, they took all kinds of shit. Mom and dad, it was my dad's backhoe, but it was left to me. It was in 1965. It's like, it's not worth anything to anybody, but it was to me. I worked with him for 21 years. It has a lot of sentimental value to me.
Yeah.
Just shit like that, but it's okay. I have till January 6th to 29 to file it. That's a whole nother story I'll get into later, the whole filing thing and how all that happened.
That's fucking traumatic, Phil. And thank you.
Yeah. And my buddy that I told him, he was living at the bottom of the hill. My dad let him live down there in a camper because he worked with us. They got his shit too. They trashed his car. They crushed my truck. They crushed his truck. They hauled him off. You can't do that without a title here, but they got it done because my sister got it done.
Yeah, I mean, when you're up against the government, you know, it's almost no use fighting it. It's just like
exactly.
Let them say what. I mean, it's also says that in the Bible, right? Let them say what they want to say, because they're just gonna hang you or.
Yeah, exactly. And my sister painted me out to be some criminal, which I'm not. I never had a drug charge, and that was one of my charges. My buddy had a meth pipe because I called him up and I said, "Hey, he went to jail with me the first time. This is what's nutty. He went to jail with me the first time. I called him up when I'm there. My other friend that I was living with for 9 months, he leaves, and my buddy Bill comes. Well, he had a meth pipe in his truck,
yeah.
And they came. He wasn't there 10 minutes, and the cops showed up again." So they were going to give him 8.5 years for that. It just had residue. He didn't have any drugs. It was just a pipe with something in it.
Right? Just
Paraphernalia. Yep. And under 5 grams because they scraped it out and got some powder out of it. They were going to give him 8.5 years for being habitual. So with my charges, I took his. It was just 6 months for me, and it all ran together anyway. I did no more time. Now I got a drug charge on my. But I wasn't going to let him do 8.5 years. I just wasn't going to do it.
Dude, that's so crazy because the laws in my country, I know about 2 guys that killed a guy, and one guy got 7.5 years, and the other guy got 2 years.
Wow.
I mean, yeah,
that's
yeah. I mean, the laws are so different in these countries. And I've also heard about this guy who killed 7 people, and he only did 9 years for killing 7 people.
Yeah, I got 2 years for breaking in my own home.
Right? I mean, that's
crazy, man.
Yeah.
But they give me the max because I took it to trial. They want you to take a plea bargain. If I took a plea bargain, I would have had a year probation. That's it. But I'm like, no, I'm innocent. I'm wrong. You guys are wronging me.
So, I get that.
Yeah, I'd rather lose it. And now they owe me.
I totally get it.
You know, so there's that. Fuck it.
Hey, so welcome, Lance.
Hi, Lance. Sorry to be chatty Cathy there, bud.
No problem. Hi, boy. Hi, Seth. How are you today?
Lizzo wanted to speak to you, but he's not here now.
Yeah, sorry. It's kind of been a busy morning, unexpectedly. Just notifications, calls, stuff like that. So what? Amongst us, is that what we call you?
You can call me Phil.
Phil.
Yes, sir.
Your sister is a state trooper?
She is. She's a basically the Indiana ATF. They call them excise officers here. She has more power than a state trooper.
Yeah. ATF has a lot of power, don't they? Wow.
Yeah. Well,
what's ATF?
She's alcohol, tobacco, and firearms.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I think it's called the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms.
Yeah, and this state is called state excise because they do all the liquor sales and they go in and tobacco, but they also do the firearms and the tobacco.
Weird how those things go together in one department, right?
Right. Yeah.
What? Alcohol, tobacco, and firearms. Like,
well, a lot of people smoke their weapons away.
Oh, that's why. Yeah. They use too much oil, right?
Yeah, it's all the police though, the ones doing it.
Let's not talk about the oil today. No. So, boy, I'm really pissed off at you, lad.
Okay, cool.
You don't want to know why?
Oh, I said cool, but I still want to know why. Yeah.
No, yesterday I came on your show and I was wearing the Dutch national football team soccer sweater, and you didn't say a thing.
Because I don't care.
Okay.
There you go.
You heartless bastard, you.
Circus and bread.
Yeah, I'm not very nationalistic, No.
So what were you charged with, boy? I didn't quite catch your whole story there.
Breaking and entering into my own home, destruction of property in my own home. What was it? There was 3 charges. Well, there's 4, but I only got 3 of them. But they were all low, level 6. They were the lowest felonies. The drug charge I took from my buddy. The breaking and entering, destruction of property over $500. The water meter. So that was it.
Is that all?
That's it. Yep.
And you said?
Huh?
I was asking Seth what he was charged with.
That's what I was charged with.
Yeah. No, I didn't catch what Seth was charged with.
Oh, dude, that's for resisting arrest.
Wow.
And when I asked the judge why was I arrested, she said, "Well, that's not the case."
Yeah, I guess.
And I had a solicitor next to me, and he actually got my case a bit worse. So they're all in the same.
See, and what I was explaining, man.
Listen, dude. I mean, I should just be thankful for seeing it up close how it works, and there's a special place in hell for solicitors and advocates and judges, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's a special place in hell for them because they all work together. They are not about justice. They're not about rights. They're not about defending. They're part of the game. That's why there's a special place in hell for them.
Yeah,
and I know this. I know this now. And this, listen, the cops will. Whenever I see a cop now, I know what to do. And somehow I've got immune to cops. Cops are immune to me now. Somehow. I don't know how that happens. But I will never be stopped at a road stop by now. Because that happens. Yeah. I'm sorry, but, I didn't even do so much time, but I got offended. I got disgraced so deeply that I don't even regard these creatures as people. They're not people. They're I mean, some people call them pigs. I agree. I mean, they don't deserve to live. I mean, they're part of my choreography called neck dance, right? I need a lot of necks to dance upon.
Have you read the part about a natural man and a spiritual man in the Bible, boy?
No.
Okay, it says that, basically I'll paraphrase it. The natural man, he's the man, that's them, the natural man. They have known nothing of the spirit. But the spiritual man is judged by no man, but judges all things. That's why we're here. Judge. Yeah. Yep. And when they do judges, it comes back on them.
Some people say judge not, right? And I'm like, well, I mean, whenever
no, we can judge, but we got to judge in.
Anytime you use one word, you judge, even using one word or two words. So imagine, speaking a sentence is a sentence, per definition, right? A word is a judgment. Any word is a judgment.
Yep.
A sentence is a sentence.
No, there's plenty of places in the Bible that says to judge.
Yeah.
Just people don't read the Bible, especially Christians.
I know. I've had Jehovah's Witnesses at my door.
Oh, they run when they see me.
Oh, they put a cross behind my name when it came before my door, like 20 or 25 years ago. And they started talking to me about Noah. And it was just these 2 beautiful young people, right? And I was like, yeah. And they said, this is all about the glory, the more glory of God. I said, do you know what the word glory means? And he said, no. Okay.
Well, the Bible proves that Jehovah is the devil.
They were talking about Noah. And I said, well, I've just been reading the Bible, right? Because I was reading the Bible at the time. like 20 years ago or 25 years ago. And I said, well, this is what I read about Noah, because they started talking to me about Noah. And he looked at me like, wow, this is not what I heard. I said, yeah, but did you read the Bible? He said, yes, from this verse to that verse. So this is what the church does, right? Or the preachers do. They said, read it from this verse to that verse and don't read anything more. And tell me what you think about it. They take it out of context, right?
Exactly.
That's what they do. And so what I did, and I'm not even a Bible thumper, right? But I showed them like, well, here's the context. And they were so interested that they came into my house. And I invited them, and we talked a little bit more. And then, well, the next 20 years, there was no Jehovah's Witness at my door. I was like, oh, I must have been getting the mark there.
So you converted them to Satanism?
I think, yeah, of course.
No, they are Satanists, because Psalms 83:18 says, I, Jehovah, let thy enemies know that I, Jehovah, am over all the earth. Then 1 John 5:19 says, we are all children of God, but the whole world lies in the power of the evil one. The God of this world is the devil. So if Jehovah says he's over the world, i.e. he's the devil. That's how I got them. They didn't want to hear that. I said, you worship the devil.
Funny thing is, Phil, these two Jehovah Witnesses, not as pretty and not as young as they were back then, actually visited me like 2 weeks ago, and they were at my door and said, I was like, what? Yeah, when we want to tell you the word of God, and I told them about the Mandela effect, right? And they said, no, God's words will not be messed with, right? I said, well, did you read this scripture? What does it say? I told them about the lion and the lamb.
Yeah, they all know
right?
that.
Or where two or more will be gathered in my name. They said, yes. I said, well, it doesn't read that now. Look it up.
Right.
And the older guy looked at me and said, what do you mean about the Mandela effect? The guy that lived in South Africa? I said, no. And I looked at the guy and said, I knew he was lying. He heard about this. He knew what I meant.
Boy, how did the Mandela effect get its name again? Was it Mandela dead, but somebody?
If you don't know,
it's a supernatural shift in reality, which is called the Mandela effect.
Yeah,
here's how it started. A lady named Fiona Broom, imagine that. She was a witch.
Fee-fo-fi on a broom.
Right. Nelson Mandela, in my reality, died in like 1991. Well, now he hadn't died till 2013. And a lot of people were remembering what I remembered. And she coined the phrase Mandela effect, because that was the first noticeable effect.
So 1997, you said?
No, I think it was 91. It was during the apartheid and all the.
Well, that's how I remember it from the.
Okay, yeah, it's 91. Yeah. I'm 57, so.
Well, like these are 90s, but it was a hell of a long time ago.
Yeah, it's 91.
So it's listed now as 2013.
Yeah, and even President Bush said something about him in a conference, a news conference in like 2003. He mentions Mandela. So it's like residue that hasn't,
Also, he mentioned.
Mind you, I lived in South Africa.
Right.
In
19. You were there, huh?
I was there, and so my brother, my half brother, actually lived there for a while longer, and then he remigrated back to the Netherlands, and he actually went back in 1995 to vote for Mandela. That's why.
Okay.
I mean,
I remember his daughter.
That's a fucking anchor memory, dude. That's an anchor memory. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, he didn't remigrate. He just went there because he was able to vote for a black guy. So okay,
Right. Yeah, it's pretty wild stuff.
I know.
But this book in Daniel, it says seal up the book for the end days. Then in Revelation 22:10 it says unseal the book. So that's why all these to me it's changing the truth, and I think the Mandela effects are clues. Personally, yeah, I don't believe it's the devil, because why would the devil say he's got milking his children with his titties in Numbers 11:12? I wrote it in a comment. Yeah, so he wouldn't want to out himself. He would want things to go just like they are, because he's in control. He wouldn't want all this, changes and controversy, and it's outing him.
Who controls the past controls the future. Who controls the present controls the past.
Who controls the children controls the future. That's their motto.
Basically, yeah. Are you guys having trouble talking to like teenagers or 20-somethings these days?
No.
Lance, I don't leave this place. I haven't left this farm in 2 months.
No, I'm good with everybody. Just
me too.
I can talk to everybody. It's just some of the kids I just don't. They kind of frighten me away. They're not quite all there. They're not.
Yeah, one of my neighbors is like a single woman that got herself impregnated, in an unnatural way, and so she lives with her son in this very fucking tiny apartment. It really very, very. So I think they share the same bedroom.
Mm.
And this boy, whenever he's next to his mom, he acts different. He acts different than when he's away from his mom. But I hardly see the boy away from his mom, right? So when I see the boy acting, without his mom next to him, it's a totally different person. So yeah.
One of the saddest things that I see, and it's every day, on my block there are 2 schools, and I don't even know what you call them. I've heard them called spectrum schools. So they're kids who have fallen on a diagnosis of autism, ADHD, hyperactivity disorder, and they can't go to a public or regular school. And so they take them for walks twice a day. And there's like 20 kids. They've all got their high visibility jackets on. There's usually about 4 or 5 like 20-somethings, and they're all holding a hand. And it's just one of the saddest goddamn things I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I mean, autism in the 80s, it was 1 in 10,000, and now it's 1 in 35 kids are autistic.
Yeah.
Yeah, 1980 is 1 in 10,000. Is that what you said? That's what I knew it as. 1 in 10,000 today. It's like 1 in 23, 24 in America.
I think it's 30 to 35, something like that.
In boys, 8 to 14 or 8 to 12 is what I read. I don't know, a couple months ago. But yeah, it's all, either way, it's all fucked up. But
they tried to pull that trick on my nephew too, right? My sister's son, because he stood up against the school bully, and he fucking hit the school bully. He got blamed, and I'm talking like 20 years ago, all right? And he was blamed, like, yeah, but I mean, he's a school bully. Why did you stand up to him? Well, because he hit me in the face, and therefore I hit him in the chin, and so he, right? I mean, and still was like, no, you shouldn't do that. Like, what?
Right.
Yeah. And so he was diagnosed with some ADHD, and
of course.
And then he got what do you call this medicine? What do you call these drugs?
Ritalin or
Ritalin. Yeah.
Amphetamines. Yeah.
Yep.
And I was like, what the fuck?
Wow.
Yeah.
It's 20 years ago, right? 20 years, like 19, 18, 20 years ago. Yeah. And I was like, man, because he stood up against the school bully, because he hit him in the chin and the guy actually fell down. Now he needs to be on Ritalin. How about the school bully? No, the school bully is just a school bully.
He's the victim.
I mean,
Did you guys ever get bullied as kids?
I did, and my
No.
bus driver made us get out on where I got off at my house on the farm I lived. It was about a half mile to not that far, about a quarter mile to the house.
I was like my nephew. I stood up against the bullies, and nobody was ever bullied in my school because I just said no.
Our
Because I was quite
bus driver.
I'm quite tall, right? And so I just said, no, you shouldn't do this. Would you want me to act like this against you? You know? And of course, I got pushed through a window once upon a time, but that's about it. I stood up against the bullies.
Yeah, but I wanted to fight him, and our bus driver.
Listen, but you asked me, and I'm not the hero. You know, of course, I got some punches in the face too, but you know, it was never too rough. This whole bully culture is not a thing in my country, right?
Yeah, well, it's here. But my bus driver let him follow me off the bus, and I fought into my driveway. I didn't win, I didn't lose, but he got on the bus and went home, and I walked up to the house. But yeah, the bus driver knew my family. He let him get off, and we fought.
Wow.
He never fucked with me after that.
How about you, Lance? Did you ever get bullied, or did you bully? You kind of look like a bully.
You know, if I did bully people, it was probably as part of a group, and it probably didn't happen that much. I just don't recall. The only time I was bullied, we had the school bully in elementary school, Rusty Johnson. He made a career out of beating the shit out of people. We had these long forested trails behind my school, so they'd jump out of the trees and ambush you and then beat the shit out of you.
What?
And before he did that, during the school day, he'd say, you're the one that's getting it tonight. So generally, no, people didn't bully me because I was tall, I was strong, I was, they knew that it would be a problem. So, but one day he did, and it terrified the shit out of me, man. So I managed to go through the woods in a different way and make it home without having to deal with that, and I never got bothered again. And then I just found out last year Rusty died in a drug overdose.
Karma. Yeah. No, and I remember when I was walking home from. No, never mind.
Let's talk about the weather now.
Yeah. Should I play some music maybe?
Sure, I can.
Answer. Yeah, we need the rod from God now. The rod from God.
I'm going to go get something to drink.
We need the rod from God. What am I doing? Oh, here it is.
God can crack Pickaxe Mountain. On paper, kinetic bombardment sounds like pure sci-fi, but when you do the math on hypervelocity impact, it becomes the single most viable solution on Earth for defeating a deep subterranean fortress. Dropping a 20-foot pole of solid tungsten from low Earth orbit delivers the punch of a tactical nuclear strike, slamming into the Earth at Mach 10, without leaving behind a single atom of radioactive fallout or violating nuclear non-proliferation treaties. Against a target buried beneath hundreds of feet of solid granite, conventional munitions simply cannot dig deep enough, making orbital kinetic impact the ultimate key to opening the mountain. The secret lies in pure, unadulterated physics. Traditional bunker busters rely on chemical explosives housed inside heavy casings, but their penetration depth is fundamentally capped by their drop speed and the physical limits of air-dropped bombs. A kinetic rod suffers from no such limits. Accelerated by gravity to over 7,000 miles per hour, the rod isn't just a projectile, it acts as a kinetic drill bit. The sheer volume of kinetic energy transferred in a fraction of a second overrides the structural integrity of solid rock, liquefying granite on impact and driving a concentrated shockwave directly through the mountain's burden. When a facility is carved into the core of a mountain, surface-level blasting and conventional airstrikes are completely useless. Heavy earth penetrators might chip away at the outer layer, but they lack the terminal velocity required to punch through hundreds of meters of reinforced granite. The tungsten rod solves this by using density and velocity to force its way through the earth, turning the mountain's own mass and rigidity against itself as the massive pressure wave collapses underground vaults, shatters air filtration systems, and crushes deep-buried command centers. Where every other weapon system on the planet hits a physical wall, kinetic bombardment provides the definitive answer. By trading chemical explosives for orbital velocity, it bypasses traditional air defense networks and transforms gravity into the ultimate penetrator. Against a target as heavily fortified as Pickaxe Mountain, dropping high-density metal from space isn't just an alternative option. It is the only weapon capable of cracking the vault and neutralizing what's inside.
Yeah, so I think that's a good pellet cleanser for now. Rods of God. Yeah. There's no way of being philosophical about this. We need rods of God. And we need kinetic warfare. That's what we need. But I'm afraid it's not going to happen from our side. It's only going to happen from the other side. And whatever happens, because that's the case. It is what it is. And it's going to be what it's going to be. And since nobody's willing to change it, I guess we're just going to have to be killed off. I'm afraid so. I lost my pen members. Playing the rods of God. Okay. How about this one then?
I love this spot. What's this? Ah, shit! Ah! I got electrocuted again, didn't I? That's all right. Happens weekly. I'll fly it off. Yeah, no. I love this spot. What's this? Ah, shit! Ah, fuck. I got electrocuted again, didn't I? That's all right. Happens weekly. I'll fly it off. Yeah, no. I love
taking down the lights. Turn around. Ace climbs up the whole ladder by himself and is now on top of the roof.
But what happened?
Up here taking down the lights. Turn around. Ace climbs up this whole ladder by himself and is now on top of the roof.
These golden retrievers, man, they're something else. Yeah.
You can spend the whole day now watching pet videos.
Yeah, that's what I do. Usually that's how I spend my days, scrolling.
Just pets being reunited with their owners after decades.
Yeah.
There's one guy, I can't remember his name right now. He's on YouTube. He's a guitarist and he goes out into the wild, plays songs, and like the wildest of animals will approach him and like try to stick their nose on his guitar strings.
Right. Yeah. 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 Same goes for the people that play piano for pigs or for cows.
Yeah, there's something magical about music, is there not?
Yep.
What do you think of those rods of God? Boy, you think they're up there?
Well, it could be more Homo sapien, where we we appear to be creatures, three-dimensional creatures, vibrational creatures. Like our world is perceived through frequencies.
Yeah.
Which is
Yeah,
why
but these rods of gods they talk about, Phil, of course they're a thing. I mean, if I can think about it, you know.
Well, I know a lady, her dad worked on him. Allegedly, he worked on it. And he quit. It was TRW that made him, the company TRW. And then he quit, and he won't, for some reason, the 33rd degree parallel, he won't leave that. He'll go from the East Coast to the West Coast, and he always stays right there. He says something's coming, something's going to happen, and that's a safe zone or something. I don't know what she says, but yeah, he
So,
says it's
so
real.
what are you saying? They're programmed. These balloons are
I'm saying
programmed.
he knows something that we don't, and he says they're up there too. I mean, he worked on it.
Did you say he wouldn't leave the 33rd degree parallel?
Yeah, it's like Dallas, Texas, Phoenix, all that area.
Wow. Yeah, I remember TRW back in the day. It's not around anymore, but it was a massive like aerospace and weapons manufacturer. They used to advertise on TV too.
Yep.
Like General Electric, we bring good things to life.
Yeah, theirs was, what was it? We bring things to bring to end life.
Good things to death. Yeah.
Yeah, good things to death. Yeah, pretty much.
Fucking crazy world, lads. I just can't get over it.
I think, guys, I think we're just gonna have to sit it out. I mean, as much as I would love to fight the enemy.
Well, yeah, time tells all.
There's nobody on our side, so everybody's tuned out, dropped out. Like it's getting to
not even informed. They're not even awake. They're not even. They're not even there.
They're mind control zombies.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had so many encounters now in the last 10 years with people, and it's well, you know how it is when you wake up, and you got to go tell people that there's planes spraying the sky with chemicals and shit like that, and so most of the conversations people looking at you. Oh, okay.
You got to get close to your mic, otherwise we can't hear you. Yeah.
So the people you're talking to will say something. Oh yeah, okay, yeah. Well, listen, I got to go. You have a nice day. So it's mostly that.
Yeah.
There's
or they look up like what do.
Yeah, they will just give you this one sentence response, right? Like it could never be like that, or no, I read something else in the papers, or whatever. It's just only one sentence that completely wipes your knowledge off the table.
Yeah, why would they do that? That don't make sense.
Yeah. Or that's just a conspiracy theory.
Yeah, that's not even real.
You watch too many YouTube videos.
Yeah. All your evidence have to come from YouTube.
Yeah.
So, but like one in maybe 100, 150, 200, something like that, they'll be looking at you. They're like this. And then you say something like, vaccines are not safe and effective. And they go from this to it's an example of hypnosis.
Yeah.
It's magic spells. It's all spells. The world's run by magic.
Well, I mean, if you look into television, I think within 2 minutes, if you're watching TV, you are induced into a state of hypnosis.
Right.
Not everybody. It's 80% of the population. I think 20% are immune from hypnosis. I remember seeing a film from a hypnotist, and he said that it's not that easy to hypnotize people in real life. It's maybe about 3 in 10, 4 in 10, and it takes a lot of work. But he said, if you make me the president of a television network, I can hypnotize 80% of the population in 2 minutes.
Yeah.
I'd say TV and alcohol, or spirits and channeling, are the two biggest problems. that were up against.
Sorry, they also say about television that it's not a true state of hypnosis. There are different levels based on brainwaves. It's called a state of hypersuggestibility. But it is kind of like hypnosis. I mean, if you're watching TV with somebody and you look over and look at their face, they're like,
Yeah, I mean, I've had this friend of mine, and he was like, when he was watching television, not even something that he liked, but you couldn't get him off of it. You could scream to him, His wife told me so. He just wouldn't hear it. He would just be in it. And this guy was actually well informed. He knew what was going on, right? But the television, if he watched television, it would still have that influence on him. And he would know about the television and the influence and what the game is and the agenda is. But still, when he watched television, he was just locked in, man. So, I mean, you could throw a stone at his head and he would just flinch like, huh, what was that? And he would watch the television again. I mean, yeah.
And what's even more interesting is how they do it. Like back in the old days with the black and white TVs, they used the flicker rate. So, and now with digital, they can do anything. So if you see like spinning circles, if you see things going in and out at you, if you see horizontal lines going across the bottom of your screen, those are all hypnotic techniques. Other examples in television, if you're watching the news, the national news, the newscaster is looking at you in the eye. I remember as a kid, man, that guy must be really smart to memorize all the news and just like recite it to me. And then I went to a tour in school of the local TV station, and it showed you that the teleprompter was built into the end of the television camera. So they're just reading a screen that's on and looking at you, but not really looking at you. So that's hypnosis too.
Yeah, it's crazy, guys. I'm gonna end the stream. Please stay backstage, and I'm just gonna say goodbye to everybody in chat.
Okay.
But we can still have a conversation, when this ends. So thank you all for being here, Creek Mary. No, Jack's Dreaming. It was not Creek Mary. It was not here. Lizzo, super thankful, not of this world, and everybody else. I'm just gonna end it because I wanna.